Headphones finally charged. 90%. There we go. Now I don't have to hear
Good enough.
Now I don't have to hear the echo inside my skull. It's bad enough I have to listen to myself fucking speak. Anyway, I don't need it twice. I thought this was cool. This was fucking mind blowing. It's a weird thing to think about. Okay, mountain heights are always changing. They're not static. We look at mountains and we see a big hunk of rock and like, big hunk
Yeah,
rock, not move.
that's what I think.
Yeah, but yeah. For example, here, Alaska's Mount Denali. We are obsessed with finding answers as you are. Enter your email. No thanks.
No thanks.
Mount Denali is currently getting taller every year. Not by much, just 0.4 inches annually. But half an
That's
inch.
a half inch a year.
That's a lot. Every year, an estimated 2 to 3 million people lace up their boots and take a hike on the Appalachian Trail. It's hard to beat the scenery. The 2,200-mile-long pathway shares its name with a mountain range whose dense forests and rocky slopes are a magnet for those who love the outdoors. Should you ever decide to climb an Appalachian summit, you'll have to work your cut out for you. The 10 highest American peaks east of the Mississippi are all located in a historic mountain range by a slim margin. The tallest among them is North Carolina's Mount Mitchell, which stands 6,684 feet. Probably won't grow any taller, though. From a geological standpoint, the Appalachians haven't seen much growth in quite a while. They're actually kind of diminishing. They're a lot more ancient. They're older than bones.
Wow.
Like you don't find you don't find fossils there because they were formed
there
before there were bones.
Jesus.
Since the dawn of the dinosaurs about 225 million years ago, this range has been getting whittled down by weathering forces. Yet elsewhere in the world, some mountains grow higher and higher on a yearly basis. So how come the Appalachians aren't following suit? Key factor is their age. Mountains can form in a handful of different ways, but the majority come into existence when two of the Earth's tectonic plates converge. The Appalachian Trail is actually in the middle of a plate now. For those who don't know, tectonic plates are moving pieces of the lithosphere. Lith means rock, so they're calling it the rockosphere. That's kind of cool, rockosphere. Nice. You know, like tonsilliths or any kind of other monoliths. The lith is little. Is that Latin education? I don't know. Whatever. Words on the page. Mind you, not all of them are like continental plates are fairly light, while oceanic plates are denser in nature. During collisions between them, an oceanic plate will get pulled under a continental one. Scientists call this phenomenon subduction. I'm going to subduct your plate, baby. Rock your mountain range. The process drives magma to the continent surface, leading to the creation of volcanic mountains like Mount Fuji in Japan or Mount St. Helens in Washington State. RIP. Tectonic pressure generated at these subduction zones can also be the result of non-volcanic mountains like Alaska's Mount Denali, which, according to NASA, is getting 0.4 inches taller every year. But what happens when two continental plates plow into each other? This is getting sexual. Once that occurs, the crust at their boundary gets displaced and forced upwards. Thus, a new mountain range comes into being. This is like the birds and the bees, but for fucking rocks.
Yeah, that's what they're telling us.
Both of these processes helped give birth to the Appalachians around 480 million years ago. An oceanic plate was getting subducted under the eastern part of North America, producing some volcanic mountains there. Then, 180 million years later, this region experienced some major uplift when the continent barreled into Western Africa. Alas, the Appalachians eventually stopped growing. Over the past 200 million years, North America and Africa have been drifting apart. The former continent's eastern seaboard is no longer pummeling into another landmass, and at present, no ocean plates are getting subducted beneath it. Tectonically, the Appalachians region is inactive, with no mountain-building forces currently at play there. The area's slopes haven't been able to increase their stature in 200 million years. All mountains are constantly experiencing some form of erosion, which tries to shrink them. Tectonically active ones can overcome this with new uplifting growth, but since the development is now arrested, the Appalachians can't offset the wear of wind or precipitation, so they're getting smaller. Different story in the Himalayas. India has spent the last 50 million years pushing itself into Asia. I believe
just grinding up on Asia.
Just fucking humping the shit out of it. Going right through Mongolia, just fucking BAM! Paleontologist and geologist porn. Yeah.
Geologist porn?
Geologist porn. I'm a geologist. I'm
a geologist.
Yeah.
Get it?
Like the real geo?
Yeah, get it, geologist.
Geo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. Still sounds sexual. Furthermore, they're still tectonically active, thus the range as a whole continues to grow despite the unavoidable influence of erosion. However, to quote the author John Green, the truth resists simplicity. I don't know why you sound like that, John Green, but you do now. Individual mountains within a given range don't always get taller or shorter in unison. Sometimes one portion of a chain will rise while another simultaneously falls. Happened in Nepal after a devastating earthquake. During the aftermath, scientists discovered some of the Himalaya peaks lost as much as 23 inches. Ouch. That's a lot of stature for a mountain.
It is.
Oh, and in height during the quake's first 5 seconds. 23 inches in 5 seconds. That's
a lot of dropping.
That's wild. That's like getting fisted. That's out of control. A couple of lower mountains actually grew taller, so it fucking did like a shoop.
It just fell down on top of the other mountains.
Yeah. So basically, it's just saying that shit gets smaller and bigger.
Yeah, some mountains get bigger, some mountains get smaller. Just depends on, how old you are.
Yeah, so just don't take it for granted that where you're standing will be there forever, because it won't. Eventually,
It'll be here as long as I'm here.
Eventually, if we don't get wiped out by a fucking asteroid and blown to smithereens, we're gonna get consumed by the sun, and then after that, with fucking the eventual heat death of the universe, we turn into just a big pile of mush.
There's the asteroid that could come. There's the sun that could eventually blow up. I mean, more than likely, it's going to be the storms from global warming and the ice caps melting that takes out the brunt of us.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But I'm glad I'm on the East Coast for that reason.
Why?
Because it's more stable. We're moving away. We're going to the other side. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I guess whenever the country does slam into Asia eventually, it's going to be the West Coast that gets hit first.
Yeah, fuck California. Whatever. That shit's going to sink anyway. See you down in Arizona Bay, guys. This is great. Mountains do stuff.
You know how I feel bad for and all that, though? Japan. They're just going to be like the taint in the middle of those two countries.
Have you seen their porn?
I didn't.
I think they might want it.